Solo Leveling episode 2. And man, I cannot believe how good this anime has been so far. Only 2 episodes and already it has been to my liking. Not only to my liking, but it has actually been really great. I definitely think that this will be the anime of the season because it has all the elements for being it. It has action. It has something that you don't usually see in other animes, especially nowadays, and that is that it is very gory. It has a lot of blood, and not only blood, but the way it is demonstrated, the way it is shown, with very graphic scenes. You see people being sliced up, you see people, losing their arms and their legs, you see blood all over the floor. This episode was again another hype episode, just like the first one, or even more than the first one, because in this episode we actually got to see our characters put to the test. We saw how in the last episode there were 3 commandments, and those 3 commandments we didn't actually know exactly what was their purpose. I speculated that maybe it was related to the statues, and yeah, it was actually related to the statues because they had to follow these commandments. They were not only commandments, but they were also hints on what to do, because for example Sung Jin-Woo figure out that in the first they have to pray or kneel down, in the second they have to basically get under a statue, and in the third they have to come together and look at the statues. And I say it so easily, but to be in that moment, to think of those things in that moment, that tells you a lot about Sung Jin-Woo's character, because not any other character can do that, especially not the ones that were there, because nobody thought of that. A lot of people die in this episode, and yeah, if it were not for Sung Jin-Woo, maybe all of them would have died, because as we saw, Sung Jin-Woo was the last to stay there. He didn't cower, he went through all the things with conviction. So I mean, yeah, props to Sung Jin-Woo. Not every character can do that. And we see even how, again, at the end, not only did he figure out everything that was supposed to be done, but also he let the other people go off, when they were in the last commandment. And we also saw Sung Jin-Woo's sister. She was at school, she was talking to another girl, which I assume that other girl will maybe join to be an adventurer or something like that, because I mean, it was kind of implied with that mini talk that is going to happen. Maybe that was the girl that was shown in the first episode that was waiting in some sort of agency or waiting room or something like that. I don't know if it was exactly her or someone else, but yeah, she asked, Sung Jin-Woo's sister what exactly is being an adventurer like, or not necessarily that, but in general, what is an adventurer? And well, yeah, she responded that, yeah, I have a brother, but he's rank E and he is always getting hurt and things like that. And like I said, I think she's actually going to join the ranks, if you can call it like that. Not Sung Jin-Woo's sisters, but the other girl. And yeah, it was also said in this episode that Joo-hee, the red hair girl, was actually a B rank adventurer. So yeah, she's actually really strong. I guess I can see it because the way she heals people is, is very proficient. It's very high level. It is not indicative of a person that is E or D rank level. She definitely does seem to be a B rank level, at least ability wise, because it was also mentioned that the reason she doesn't go to higher rank missions corresponding to her rank is because, well, she's too weak-minded. And we can see that throughout the whole episode, in the first and second episode, how she's always scared, she's not really up to the task. In contrast to Sung Jin-Woo, which, I mean, he's fighting for his life, he's thinking, he's moving, he's doing this, he's doing that. She's exactly all the opposite, which, I mean, I cannot blame her because the mission they're in is really chaotic, is really, high level, high stakes. So in this specific case, I cannot blame her or even any of the other characters. It is just that Sung Jin-Woo is the crazy one out there. Crazy one in the sense of being actually really competent, really brave, not like the other ones, which again shows you a lot of Sung Jin-Woo's character, that unlike his other companions that were there, he's more cool-minded, definitely the most cool-minded, the more chill, the more analytical. Maybe that is because of all the missions he has had until now, because in all the missions he has gone, his life was almost every time in danger. He almost died in all of those missions. He's always been surviving. He's always been doing certain things to keep himself alive. And yeah, that demonstrated definitely in this episode when he was surviving. And I said in the last episode that I thought everyone was going to die, and I actually did thought that. I actually didn't thought that anyone was going to survive, but at least a couple of people survived. What was it, 4, 3, something like that? And I definitely thought that the red hair girl, Joo-hee, I think that is her name, was actually going to die. I was almost certain of it, because in this first episode you need something for the main character to, I guess you can say, get traumatized and at the same time get stronger, because that almost always happens in the first episode, especially in animes about survivorship. So yeah, I thought that definitely was going to happen, but man, was I surprised to see her actually, be alive and get away. So yeah. And we also talk how in this episode Sung Jin-Woo actually got his, I think it was one leg and an arm cut off. So I wonder if he survives, which of course he's definitely going to do because he's the main character after all. The anime is not going to end after 2 episodes, but after he survives, I wonder if he's going to regain his arm and his leg, or if he's going to use some prosthetic or something like that. Maybe his new abilities, if he gets one, I don't know, to be honest, will grant him a new leg and arm or something resembling that. But yeah, I said that he's definitely going to survive, but this is actually, pretty surprising and pretty crazy to think that after the things we saw at the end of the episode, how he was being beat up and how he was getting, dragged, punched, stabbed, he was being treated like a doll, like a rag doll, like he was nothing but the statues. It is crazy to think that he will actually survive, which again, he will actually do. We see how at the end of the episode, when it was almost about to end, when the statues were about to hit him, we saw a message that was a new quest, and the quest was for, I guess, Sung Jin-Woo to become a new player. I don't know if that is part of the ending. I don't know if in the last episode I missed that, if it was part of the ending or not. I think it was actually part of the episode. Maybe I'm confused. But yeah, it said that it had 0.02 seconds to accept, otherwise his heart was going to stop. So it was basically forcing him to accept the quest, because I mean, if he didn't accept, it was implied that his heart was going to stop immediately. And apparently the quest was for him to become a player. I don't know what exactly that means. I'm only an anime watcher, so I don't know what exactly that's trying to imply. Could the quest perhaps be a mission from the statue, or could it be a mission from the real world, from the higher ups? To be honest, I think it is a mission or quest from the dungeon, maybe from the statue itself, the god statue. Although the statue was very creepy throughout the whole episode, so it will be actually really interesting, to say the least, to see if the statue actually gave the mission to Sung Jin-Woo. I think that is the case, because I think there were some things that needed to be done in order to clear the mission and in order to receive the quest. At least I think that is what happened. Maybe it is something completely else and I'm just overthinking it, but I mean, yeah, that was definitely really interesting. It is really nice, being an only anime watcher and having to speculate about these things. I actually enjoy it a lot, because you don't have any sort of information and you talk about the episode like you're a little kid, thinking about things, thinking about a scenario, theorizing. I really do enjoy that, to be honest. But yeah, that was basically everything that happened in the episode. A really impressive episode. I definitely give it a 10 out of 10. I hope the next episodes are like that, which, to be honest, I think they're actually going to be like that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did. Again, a very hype episode, a very emotional episode in some ways. It definitely had everything going for it. So if you don't want to miss any episode reviews of the anime, please consider subscribing. And also, if you enjoyed the episode, give me a thumbs up. So yeah, that will be everything by me, and I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.